Well, welcome everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great day trading. I mean, Morgan did another fabulous job here on TradingPub. Great audience. I can't believe you guys are still here for 10 hours. I've been teaching all day. I started roughly around, I start getting ready in the morning. Around 6 o'clock in the morning, I start, Eastern time, finding my stocks to trade, looking what's going on in the pre-market, especially what happened with Congress yesterday. Thought we wouldn't get a rally, but obviously the market was down today due to some of the big brand name stocks like IBM opening up lower today. A lot of earnings came out. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it looks like we end up being positive, which is great. But these are the things I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you and teach you the art of trading of high-frequency trades. Now, I do a lot of speakings. I've traveled all over the world. A lot of the exchanges, when you go see them doing their presentations, they actually are exclusively and specifically talking about high-frequency trades and dark pools. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, everyone looks at this stuff as, ooh, you got to be careful. You're going to lose. Yes, I know. You're going up against 70% of the volume. Well, guess what? That's not a disadvantage. It's an advantage to you if you're using the tools, and that is what I'm going to teach you. Now, I do have about an hour, a little less than an hour. I'm going to try to break down and kind of educate you guys what exactly high-frequency trades are, why you need it, and why you're trading blind without it. And if you want to learn more, I'm actually going to do a live demonstration tomorrow in the real market conditions. And I'm going to invite all of you to come down. So I'm not selling anything. I'm not going to, offer. Only thing I'm offering you guys is that if you want to come and join me tomorrow, I'll show you what it's all about in the real market conditions. So now before we get started, have any of you guys ever seen me done a speaking before? Just want to know of the audience if any of you see me done this before, or because I did change the slides. Oh, wow, looks like we have some students in there. Good, good, good. At the trade shows, JP? Good, good. Well, I'm actually going to be up in Toronto for some of you. I don't know if anyone lives in the Canada area, but I got a bunch of, I'm going to be up in Toronto on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm sorry, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. Hey, Maverick, how you doing, buddy? All right, so let me change the slides here. Once again, I am doing a live trading. I'll tell you at the end of this presentation. If you guys want to register and you want to come, I'll show you exactly how to do it and how to click on that link if you want to register for that upcoming event. In the meantime, I guess risk disclosure, got to make our compliance department happy. So let's just move on with this one. So let's get right into it. Let me tell you guys a little bit about myself so you understand that I am you. I started just like you guys. Did the same exact thing as a trader, trying to learn, lost miserably because I was one of those people, those egotistical little kids, thought I started almost 20 years old, thought I knew how to do it all myself, and, literally blew up my dad's money, my mom's money, my money, and then finally I made an investment to get educated. And, over the years, I became very, very successful, so successful that I became a 12-time champion. I beat every single school that I competed against. I mean, every one of them. I went to Paris. I went to China, Canada, Toronto, New York, California, you name it, I was there. Whoever I competed, I beat against them because I was trained by real market makers who trade here on the floor. I live in New York. I was trained by the best traders, and I'm going to show you that trading is not as hard as you make it look it to be. It's really not. Yes, Dennis, thanks for sharing that. The convention center next week. Maverick said he's seen Fausto make $1,400 in 12 minutes. Well, thank you, Maverick. If you thought that was good, you had to see me yesterday. I was in my trading room. I traded a stock. It did very well with FLIR. uh, was it SCTY? I mean, there was a lot of solar stocks that took off that did phenomenal. I'll talk about them. I'm going to educate you guys and tell you a little about them. But the thing is, it's not about Fausto making money and why I was 12-time champion. What you have to understand is, how do I do it, and how I could teach you how to do it and prove it to you. Now, I don't want to change any one style of trading. Okay, this is not the Fausto-Nachi indicator. I'm going to show you, when you watch TV and you watch CNBC and you watch the traders on the floor and you see those monitors up on that screen. You ever see those monitors, everyone, on the floor of the exchange? You see, have those big monitors. Do you know what they're looking at? Could we tell you? You know what they're looking at, everyone? That's right, Maverick, and everyone else. They're looking at orders. That's what they're looking at, and that's what I'm going to teach you. So what we're going to learn is, I'm going to talk about daily journals. I'm going to talk about finding stocks to trade. I'm going to talk about level 3, total view. I'm going to talk about the KISS method, keep it super simple, finding stocks to trade, and much, much more. So let's get right into what high-frequency trades are. Now, does anyone here know what total view is? Anybody know what total view? Level 3, not level 2. This is the other level. Maverick, Scooter does, Alan does. That's it? Come on, there's over 600 people here. That's all we're getting? You could be honest. If you don't know, just be honest. Say no. I have no idea. No one's going to pick on you and make fun of you. Thank you. One thing my mentor has always said, says, listen, if you can't admit you're guilty of something, you're never going to succeed. So let me get my crayons out here, and let me start educating you on some things over here. There we go. All right. All right. Oops, that looks a little bit thick. All right, there we go. Hold on, let me just clean this out. Had the wrong pencil. All right. Wrong color now. B stands for buyers. S stands for sellers. All right. This is the price. This is the amount of shares they want to buy. This is the price they want to sell the stock for, and this is the amount of shares they want to sell. Now, looking at those orders, what you're looking at is orders. These are orders of you, me, market makers, institutions. These are everyone out there, okay? Now, this is a specific stock that's traded, and these are the orders that are out there at a specific price. Now, guys, could you look at this screen and tell me what orders stand out more than any other one? In other words, what's the first thing, the most unusual orders that stand out that you notice? That's right, right here. You have a 14,800 share buyer at 41.35. You also have a 3,600 share seller at 42.63. Now, this is a very simple question. How do stocks go up and down in the market, everyone? How do they go up? You should all be able to answer this question. Supply and demand, buyers and sellers, everyone, please. S&D, you can write that in there. Supply and demand, come on, everyone. Get it out, let it out. Supply and demand, good. Now, this is where you need to realize where education comes in. Do you know where the supply and demand is in the stock that you're trading? Honestly, think about that for a second. When you trade, do you see the big buyers? Do you see the big sellers? Bill, you know what? I was waiting for somebody to say that. I always get at least 3 or 4 people when I do a presentation and say, are these fake outs? First of all, I don't know why anybody would say that's a fake order. That is a real order. Now, somebody can cancel that order if they decide to, just like you, Bill. You've gone out there, changed your mind. You know, but it's still a real order. They're not fake orders, okay? But the thing is, these are limit orders. That 1,400 shares could be one person. It could be 20 people. And I don't think 20 people are trying to fake an order. The bottom line is there is a buyer out there advertising to buy 14,800, okay? Not 100 shares. See, now, what you need to understand is when you buy a stock, you need to see these orders because these orders are what make buying and selling. Let's look over here, okay? This is a book viewer from NASDAQ. This is directly coming from the exchange, all right? Now, do you notice right here, there is a 75,752 shares looking to be bought at $2.95, all right? Now, looking at this chart, ladies and gentlemen, can you tell me a little bit about the chart from what you know? If you're looking at this chart, what would you say? The stock is, you know, maybe at resistance levels, right? Draw a trend line. So what is a stock supposed to do right here? Wants to go up. That's right, Andy, doesn't it? It wants to go up. You see the arrow, it's been trending up, right? But how do stocks go up and down? How do they go up and down? I just asked that before. Buyers and sellers. Well, guess what? There's a 75,000 share buyer out there. Not 7,500, not 750, 75,000. Now, 2 things have to happen. Can that stock go lower? Of course it could. Well, how could that happen? Well, first of all, the guy has to get executed. Someone has to sell to him. But if nobody's selling it to him, there's only one other place he can get his 75,000 shares filled. He's got to buy it from the sellers. And if he starts executing all these orders, what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock? Everybody? It's going to go up. Exactly. Now let's look at an example over here. Here's an ECN book. Now, what makes support and resistance levels on a chart, everyone? What makes supports and resistance levels? Same question over and over again. I hope you got copy and paste on your thing. Buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers. Now, do you see buyers and sellers on a chart? Do you guys see buyers and sellers out here on the chart? No, we don't see any buyers and sellers. This is basically previous trading that happened in the past, right? That's right, Bill. You got to read between the lines. And in those lines are where you see buyers and sellers. Now, if you notice, you see their resistance levels right here? See the resistance levels right here? Well, what makes support resistance levels is buying and selling. Now, looking at the resistance levels here, the first thing I look at when I trade is I look where the orders are. What's more of a resistance levels? A 100 share seller or 11,000 share seller, everyone? What's more of a resistance level? It's 11,000. Exactly. And that 11,000 share seller is at your resistance levels. So for this stock to go any higher, those sellers have to get executed. Because as much as you might think the stock is going up, and it could go up, but only one way. that seller has to get executed. Now, here's my next question. How do you know if a seller is selling shares? Or if they pull their orders, Igor, which that's the question I'm asking, and that's the question I'm asking right now. How do you know if he pulled his order or if he gets executed? Candlestick, no. No. You got to look at the tape. No. Close jack. Come on. Almost there, guys. You got to look at the prints, which is right here, the time and sales. You see the time and sales here on the right? These are orders getting executed. And when you see the greens means that trades are going off on the offer, and red means trades are going off on the bid. So by seeing a lot of greens, this tells you if the stock, every time a trade comes up here, you'll see this number drop. So two things have to happen. If it's a fake order and he leaves, well, if he gets executed, you'll see it come up in time and sales. If he leaves and there's no order coming up here, you know he's canceled his order. Lenny, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you an article about dark pools, okay? So dark pools are the least of your problems right now. Don't worry about dark pools. What you should be worried about is the high-frequency trades. Oh, you have it already? Good. So now looking over here, here's another chart. And when you draw a trend line right here, you could see the supports and resistance levels. And when you look over here at support and resistance levels, you could see that there is a 10,000 share buyer right here. And you have a 6,000 share seller, which probably explain this resistance level right there. So the thing is, whenever you're trading, and I know everybody here knows how to read charts, but that's like the first thing. But my mentors, when I was trained, they says, Fausto, that's the last thing you want to learn. The first thing you want to learn is to see the orders, because it's the orders that make the support and resistance levels on the chart. Kevin says, what happens if the 14K trade is broken up into 100 share lots? Well, number one, you'll see 100 share orders get executed, Kevin, and you'll see the number drop. Or on the execution system, what you're seeing right now, I have them aggregated. If you want to see all the 100 share lots, you could do that. Or you could aggregate all the orders into one big order, which I prefer. So if you feel like, is it one guy or if it's 20 people, you can do that. Now let's look at this one. Let's look at this example right here. The stock right now, let's have a little pop quiz. The stock right now is trading at $16.09. What do you think the stock's going to do, everyone? Looking at the chart, do you think it's going to go up or it's going to go down? Let's see how all of you answer this question. Now, regardless about Lenny's question about manipulation, let me tell you something. If you're worried about manipulation and if you're worried about, head fakes, I'm going to do you guys the biggest favor. Quit trading. Just stop. Don't even trade. If you're worried about someone's going to take advantage of you, then don't even trade. You're wasting your time. And call me blunt or whatever it is. I just want to make you guys feel that if you think there's another person out there trading against you and is doing this and manipulating you, why even play the game? You're just going to lose. But I'm telling you, it's not what you think. Believe me, these guys are moving hundreds of thousands of shares. You think they're worried about your 100 shares? We're just trying to get the crumbs. These guys are trying to move banks. You understand? And I know because I was one of them. You know, because I used to do it myself. You think I care about trying to sucker in somebody like yourself for 100 shares? You kidding me? I got an order of 50,000, 100,000 shares that, you know, I got to make at the end of the day. I don't want to get in trouble. Now, looking at this stock right now, you could see everybody said what? It's going to go down, right? Everyone said it's going to go down or up or down. What do you think? Up or down? Why do you guys think it's going down, and why do you think it's going up? Why do you think up or down? Big trend down, okay. Well, we draw a trend line right here. We can see resistance levels right there, right? And when we draw a trend line here, I agree. I mean, we got support levels here, support levels here. So in theory, it should go up. Now, you see right here, this resistance level is right up here. This resistance level is probably made up of this 10,000 share seller out there. Now, probably back in the past, when there was a, you know, there must have been a 10,000 share buyer, but guess what? He's not there anymore, right? So if there's no buyers out there, what's going to happen to the stock? Everybody, if we don't have buyers, it's going down. It's going down with you or without you. You see this resistance levels right here? That resistance level is built by this 10,000 share seller out there at 1635. Okay? So the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is you have to have a game plan. Most people that trade in the market don't have a game plan. They don't see the buyers. They don't see the sellers. These are the high-frequency trades. They trade 70% of the volume. Why would you not want to see 70% of the volume? And believe me, you're saying like, wow, that's all it takes, Fausto? Well, yes, it is. You know what the hardest part about trading is? The hardest thing? Greed, discipline. Hamlet says it's her. I love to trade. It's so much fun. I mean, and you know what? It's been getting more and more fun every year. I keep doing it every day. Like I just finished one of my platinum courses today. And, you know, we had a great morning. We made, you know, we trade in the morning. I was working with my students. We were seeing all these big orders on the bid and ask. There's something that I call FF flags I teach and everything. And it's just, you know, and the way I train my students is I train you forever. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. I sound like I'm very old. I'm actually very young. I'm only 42. I started when I was 20, and I never turned back. And I love to teach. I love to teach so much because I know that everybody needs it. I was one of the big failure rates. And I don't want anybody out there to make the same dumb mistakes that I made. Because after I've learned and put the time to learn from my mentors, you know, I finally realized that this wasn't as bad as as hard as I thought. But you hear people, and what made me even more how much I love to teach is that you always get people that always tell everybody, oh, you're going to lose your money. Oh, you're better off, you know, don't even trade. You hear all the negativity on TV. They try to police us, try to give us this day trading rule stuff and all this mumbo-jumbo rules. Listen, the bottom line, the reason why people fail is the same reason why people fail at a diet, you know, or anything else. You need a coach. You need a personal trainer. You need somebody to teach you how to play the game. And then everything else just comes with experience. Well, Roger, you know, before you can learn discipline, Roger, you got to learn how to trade first. I mean, let's think about this, Roger. Are you watching orders? Are you watching the buyers and sellers out there? You know, do you see what's happening in the market? And then you can worry about discipline. The discipline comes later. That's experience. Discipline is a definition of experience. You know, losing money, it's actually okay. It's a good thing you lose money because that's how you learn discipline. You learn so you don't do it again. Now let's talk about finding stocks, okay? Now everyone asks me, Fausto, where did you find that stock? Where did you find that stock? You know, I run a professional, I run a Twitter, a text messaging, a subscription. I run trades every morning. I run a professional room that runs all day, okay? I'll give you an example, okay? I can't share my screen because I'm afraid my system's going to crash. But does anyone here have an execution system? Walter, thank you very much. I want you guys to look up this stock right now, okay? Have you guys ever heard of a stock called RSOL? Just look up that stock really quick. Could somebody come back and tell me a little bit about it? RSOL. Look it up. Just going to wait for one person to come back and tell me something about it. It's a solar stock, yes. And if you notice, all the solar stocks have been taking off. Traded 31 million shares. Thank you. What else could somebody tell me about it? It's a $3.90. It's a $4 stock right now. What else? It's breaking out to the upside. Roger says, wow, what a day. Ray is saying up 41% today. Ladies and gentlemen, when was the last time you traded a stock up 42%? It's up $1.20. You know, listen, that's the past. Let's talk about the present. Yes, it got beat up from 7, but it started at $2, and in 2 days went from $2 to 7, up 400% almost. Okay, just today it's been on an uptrend. You know, so the thing is this. Some of you probably never heard of this stock. You may have not even heard of a stock called even this one. You could look up this stock. PRKR. This stock is up 63% today. Started at $3.20, ran all the way to $6, up almost 100% on the day. These are the stocks I teach my students what to find and how to trade them, okay? Not like trading eBay. Oh, here's another one I traded too. Did I tell you that one? Hold on. Which one did I tell you? Yeah, there's another one. I'll show you another one. But, you know, trading Yahoo or, you know, BlackBerry, Apple, you know, all these brand name stocks. IBM today. Yeah, IBM was good to trade today, but who's got $175,000? You know, wouldn't you rather go risk less money with more reward? PRKR didn't gap up. It was trading during the market hours. It got halted, came out with big news, and you could see even at 2:30, you could have bought it at 5.20, and it still went to $6, ran another 70 cents right there. Okay, so the point that I'm getting to you is this. Trading is a job, ladies and gentlemen. And when you're trading and you're trading into a job, you need to know where to find these stocks. You need to know which one is going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. You need to see the high-frequency trades, what they're buying and selling. And, you know, finding them on CNBC, going through breaking news, those are all great places. But the best place to find them is in your scanner. What I usually do is I go through my scanner, and I do this actually, once again, I'm inviting all of you to come join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you want to be a cyber group member, you could also be, you know, you can, if you want to know more about the pre-market, my pre-market trading, you could call up and ask. But at 10 a.m., I'm doing an exclusive event, and I'm going to show you and how to trade these stocks. I'm going to show you how I scan them, how I find them. I mean, there's a lot of stocks moving today in the market. But which one is going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward? That's what I need to show you. For example, look at this stock right here. VTUS. Anyone hear of this one? Why would they be buying a low-price stock like PRKR? Steve, does it even matter? Do you even care? Steve, why are you here? In a way, and don't take this the wrong way. Why are you here? Are you here because you're trading a stock because you know the company, or are you here to make money? What's more important to you? Exactly, everyone, to make money. Exactly. So what does this stock do? I don't even care. I don't know. I don't want to know. I could tell you 5 stocks that, here, want to see a good one? Bring up this one. AMRN. Check out this one. AMRN. Look at this one. How's this stock doing for the owners? Stock went from down 61%. How about this one? We made a ton of money on this stock a couple of 2 weeks ago. RNA. Look at the swing trade on this stock. This stock was $24. Apparently, one of their drugs didn't work out, and it opened up at 5. We went long for bottom fishing, and it went all the way to 8. We made about $2 on the intraday. What is RNA? I don't even care what it's doing today. It doesn't matter. All I know is on that day, it was down 80%. And we bought it as a long on the bounce. It's called bottom fishing. Tom, great question. How do you know these stocks will make these kinds of moves? Well, what did I just tell you before, Tom? What did we just learn? What was the first thing? What's the topic of this presentation? That's right. High-frequency trades. That's what I teach you. I show you when all these orders start coming in, you'll see them because you know what? Somebody out there is losing all their money. And somebody has to go out there and do something quick. So unfortunately, catastrophes make for opportunities. Now look at this stock right here. What I teach everybody what to do is, this is how I got into education, by the way. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I was semi-retired at the age of 24. Yes, that's true. I was semi-retired at 24 years old because I was only trading an hour a day. Trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. And it took me about a year to realize that until my mentors taught me that. They said, Fausto, reason why we go play golf all day and we go fishing all day is because the market only moves at certain times. And you could see right here that this stock, the biggest percentage gainer, had a big move right here from 9:30 to 9:45. It moved literally about, 50 cents? Do you know what 50 cents on 1,000 shares, everyone? 50 cents on 1,000 shares. That's $500. Everybody have a calculator? 500 times 5 days a week times 52 weeks is $130,000 a year. You think I care it's a $2, $3 stock? Even if you made half that money, you still made your $50,000. How many of you here are semi-retired or on Social Security or trading your own IRA? Aren't you sick and tired of giving your money to someone else? Do it yourself. You're not asking for big winners. Listen, I could show you stocks like, what's going on with Facebook right now? Wow. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going long Facebook right now in the after hours. I'm here talking to you guys, and boom, I'm just watching it. Did they have earnings right now? I don't even know if they had earnings. Facebook just took off in the after hours, and it's at 53.20 and going higher. So anyway, sorry about that. I hope I didn't. They have earnings next week. Well, it just popped right now. I don't know what happened, but I'm watching it in the after hours. I'm seeing big, high-frequency trades, 50, 100,000 share bids coming in. So, and it looks like it's been doing it for the past 15 minutes. It's following Google because it's up $60. Maybe Google's buying them out. I think personally, Facebook is a great long-term trade investment, a nice swing trade for some of you. All right. So anyway, moving on. How many minutes we got? All right. So, am I boring anybody yet? Hope I'm not boring everyone. Got everyone still attention? All right. So now that I'm telling you where I find stocks and where they come from and how to follow high-frequency trades, now let's talk about probably the most popular topic that everybody knows about, okay? Let's talk about charts. Who here knows how to read charts? Do I trade futures at all, Stacy? Me personally, once in a blue moon. I'm more specifically a stock day trader. I like to sleep at night. I don't really hold positions overnight. I make my day's pay and I go to sleep, play with my kids and hang out with my wife. Don't worry about it. Go enjoy my vacation. And then I come back the next morning, trade my 30 minutes, an hour, and go from there. Just learning, candlesticks. Okay, so some of you know how to read charts. Okay, good. What chart's easy to read? Chart number 1 or chart number 2? Which one's easy to read? Simple question, right? Yeah, chart number 2, right? So you're telling me Bollinger Bands, MACDs, stochastics, moving averages, pivot points, volumes. This looks like my 4-year-old's school project. Now, indicators work for swing trading, investing. I can just tell you this, it does not work for day trading, okay? What happens, the problem with indicators, yeah, he's a talented 4-year-old, huh? You can say that again. If you guys ever get the opportunity to come to New York and visit my office, I basically took one of my walls and I made it look like a chart, and I put all my kids' pictures in it so you guys can get an idea what it looks like. But the problem with indicators they're lagging. That's right, Jim, they're lagging. So the problem is if you're waiting for an indicator to move and then you buy the stock, what happens? That's right, you end up chasing. Right, it's too late, and then you miss the run. The thing I teach my students what to do is when you go out there and trade, look for the big block orders, and you will see if that's really a true support level, you're going to see the big block orders out there. Have you guys ever heard of program trading? Ever hear of that before? Yeah, follow the leaders, Scooter. You know, everyone says you should always be a leader, you know, but when it comes to trading, I use the reverse. I tell people you should be a follower. Unless you can move big block orders, you know, you're never going to get in. Well, that's right. Yes, it's auto trading. Okay. What's happening is all those high frequency trades and all those dark pools, those are all program trading. Those are all algorithms, orders coming out. You know, everything's computerized today. If you haven't noticed, look at Wall Street. Look on the New York Stock Exchange. There's no traders down there anymore. Everything's done electronically. So one thing that you have to learn is that when you're trading in the market, if you really, really want to learn and be successful, I hope one day I can get the opportunity to teach all of you to be a student of mine, because I know I could teach all of you for the rest of your life. And I love to do it. And you know what? Every day I teach a class, you learn something new every day. Every day. And I'm giving you guys the opportunity to come and join me tomorrow to see what it's like trading live in the market. Actually, I'm just curious. Have any of you here have ever seen someone trade live in the market? I mean, you hear people like read books and this. Have you ever seen someone actually place orders and buy and sell and get in and out of stocks and in the real market? Some of you, good, because you should. Remember, if someone's going to teach you, they should practice what they preach. So always see that guy out there. Leon, why don't I trade futures? Because I live here in New York. I was trained. I started with stocks, but you could everything. A lot. What I teach, 70% of it, we're only about 30% different. You can still apply a lot of the strategies that I teach to futures or forex or options. Let's talk about psychology and discipline. One of the hardest things to teach here at Cyber Trading University. Hold on. By the way, if some of you, there we go. Okay. Now, for some of you, I want to talk about psychology a little bit, because you know what? This is one of the hardest things to teach. Trading stocks or just trading in general. Actually, I should take this off. Okay? It's really trading in general is a job. You have to treat it like a job. This is not investing. All right? You don't want to know what the company does. You don't care. Sugar. Ooh, I mean, some of you talk about futures. Yeah, I put sugar on my coffee. What does that mean? Do you really know what's going on with sugar? I mean, do you really, really, really know? Do I really know what's going on Facebook? No, I'm just following the high-frequency trades. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. That's all I'm trying to do, trying to get some crumbs. Making a day's pay. That's right, William. We don't care. You're here to make money. So treat it like a job. And the problem with jobs is sometimes you have to do something that you might not like, but it pays you. And that's what it is. So moving forward, one thing that everybody should be doing here is taking a diary, what you're doing, what you're buying, what you're selling. You could do this towards any market. Learn from your mistakes. My mentor always taught me, he says, Fausto, losing money is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Because if you know why you lost money, you're not going to do it again. Some of you here are parents, right? I know we try to protect our children. We know they're going to get hurt. We know they're going to fall on their face. But that's how they learn. And you know what? I look at you guys as my children. I know you're going to make these mistakes, but I want you to learn from those mistakes. The only way you're going to learn is first learn how to play the game. A lot of you here don't know how to trade or play the game. You have the wrong brokerage account. You have the wrong trading platform. You have the wrong style. You're trading at the wrong times. You're looking at the wrong stuff. The experience comes later. The discipline comes later. First, you need to learn how to be comfortable, trade stocks that you can control, understand why these things go up and down the way they do, and then within time, you'll get better at it. So, know what your profit goals are, daily, weekly, be realistic. I know that some of you here need to make a lot of money. Some of you might lose a lot of money. Everybody's pockets are different. All right? Some of you here will just be happy to make $100 a day. Well, look at this screen really quick. Do you think it's hard to pull 20 cents out of the market? 20 cents. 20 stinking little cents. Well, do you know 20 cents on 1,000 shares is $200 a day. That's almost a $50,000 a year salary. 50,000. If I was to offer you a job right now, you come from a $100,000 a year salary job, and I come up to you and say, hey, would you guys like to take if I can give you a 50% raise, would you take it? Work an hour a day? Of course you would. All you have to do is pull 20 cents. I show you stocks that move dollars. 20 cents. That's all you need. Do that consistently, and don't be greedy, and you'll see how your account will build really, really, really fast. I could teach you how to do that. It's very hard to be consistent and make 20 cents, Charles. Well, take my course, Charles, and I'll show you it's not. The hard part about making 20 cents, it's not hard finding them, it's hard taking it and not getting greedy and saying, ooh, let me try to make 40 cents. Oh, I made 40, now let me try to make $1. And all of a sudden that dollar winner becomes a dollar loser. Those are the things that you have to learn. Thank you very much, Scooter, for your compliments. One thing I can tell all of you is this. The cheapest trade that any one of you here could make is getting educated. Now, granted, we all know education is not free. You know what? I tried to go to Yale University, and you know, I was asking for, hey, listen, I heard you're the greatest school out there. I want to come and I want to learn here. Forget about them charging me. First, I had to be the smartest kid in my country. Okay, I'm not trying to compare, you know, Morgan here or TradingPub. We're not trying to compare that we're Yale University or Harvard. But I'm telling you, some of us here, we are in the trading community. If you want to learn, you're not going to learn this at your local college. You know, it takes time to learn it. And this is something I know all of you want to do it as a career. But it takes time, and you got to make it an investment in education. Don't be the typical trader out there that's going to be ignorant and says, oh, let me go out there and learn how to trade. I'm going to try it. If I like it, then I'll learn. Then I'll take some courses. Doesn't work that way. The only thing that's free is the cheese in the mousetrap. Always remember that. You want a good education, you got to put the time, you got to pay for it. Don't start trading. That's the least of your problems, because trading, I could just tell you this, trading is not for everybody. It's really not. Listen, how many of you went to college? How many of you sent your kids to college? How many of you actually went to college and went there and fulfilled what you were going there for? You know, how many people actually went there and says, "Oh yeah, I wanted to go to school. I went to FIT. I want to learn finance. I want to learn to be in the fashion market. I want to be the next, you know, Giorgio Armani." You know what I mean? You went to school and you became more stupider. Well, listen, but here, you know you want to do this. You know you want to learn this stuff. So put the time away and learn it from the right people. But you got to have a coach. Don't be self-taught. It doesn't work. All right, now for some of you here, we're just about done, because I want to give all of you guys the opportunity to come register for tomorrow for my free webinar, Live Trading. CyberTrade University was ranked #1 school from 6 years in a row from Equities Magazine. And we're very proud to say that, because once again, you know, they go out there and they rank schools, who's better, who's not. Listen, with that endorsement, and not only that endorsement, we do education for more brokerage firms than any brokerage firm in the country, actually. So with that said, who here could come and watch me trade live tomorrow? Can any of you guys come and watch me trade live tomorrow? All right, I don't know if I can get this announcement up. I think Morgan has it blocked, or he has to put it up himself. But I got a link up here, and in that link, right on our homepage or our website, you can click on that link, or there's a banner right on the website. Oh, there it goes. Thank you very much for that, Morgan. Click on that link, and we'll get you registered for tomorrow's live trading event. All right? It starts, the room will be open up at 9:30 Eastern. It will be recorded. And also, we're going to start at 10 a.m., okay? Now, a couple of things I want to offer you guys. If you want a copy of my slides, please email me at faustop@CTU Also, when you do register for this event, you're going to get an email, and we're going to give you a quiz. I'm going to review the quiz tomorrow. It's about 13 questions. So if you guys really, really want to learn and see if you're really qualified, I mean, listen, I treat my classes like you're really going to school, okay? If you can't pass a quiz, let me tell you, you're not ready to trade live with real money. All right, so when you register, there's going to be a prompt for you to take a quiz. Take the quiz, it will grade you, and we're going to go over the answers tomorrow. And if you guys have any questions, if you want to learn a little bit more and know more about Cybertrade University, or if you have a question you want to ask me, I answer all my emails. Probably, been really busy, so probably within 24 hours I'll get back to you. So that's my personal email right there, faustop@ctucorp.com. All right? If anyone has any questions, you can give us a call, 877-70-CYBER or 516-280-5350. Now, I do got some time here. I didn't know that Morgan gave me so much time here. I would have basically put some more slides up there. But does anyone have any questions? In the meantime, I'm going to give you guys about to open up a question about 5 minutes, and I'll give you guys a break so we can go register for tomorrow. Minimum account size for your service? Pat, what do you mean, like to trade? How much? We're not a brokerage firm. We're a school. Starting capital, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot at all. I mean, $10,000, $5,000, you don't need a lot. Lauren, about the expo, we'll send an email, register for the event for tomorrow. And everyone that lives in the Toronto area, we're going to be sending you an email. But it's with the World Money Show, the Traders Expo. It's at the Convention Center next week on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I have 2 speakings there. Mostly on usual stocks. What other services? I trade options, Forex. I love Forex. If you guys want to learn about Forex, I got a great Forex course that we do, a free webinar. Most of your trades, day trades, Gary, 95% of my trades are all day trades. Like I said, I like to sleep at night. Which one's better, trading Forex or stocks? Well, it depends. Me personally, I like stocks, but it depends if you're a Forex trader, your time zone, your account balance, So a lot of things are what make one different than the other. Yes, to day trade you do need 25,000. Once again, that's a stupid rule the SEC made because what happened in the crash of 2000. Hopefully they'll get rid of that rule. But doesn't mean you need, Denise, yes, 415 room 10 CB at the Toronto Convention Center, Denise. Thanks for sharing that. Can you say more about scanning the stocks and where to get the info? Yes, Jack. You know what? Come tomorrow, register for my event, and I'll show you in real time how to scan the market. But you usually just go through your top 20% gainers and losers. Yes, Patty, I do run a chat room. It's called our Cyber Group Room. I do Twitter and text messaging alerts all day. I do live broadcasts. I do pre-market live trading audio and visual, and I run a trading room with over a few hundred traders that are in there all day that I'm trading with them during the market hours. And I also do a training course on top of that. So I run a trading room and I do training. But you know what, Patty, and everyone else here, come and see me tomorrow. I'm not telling you to buy anything. Save your money. See what I have to show you. Take your test, and then we'll go from there. Your site indicates, yes, it starts on the 16th, but it also goes on to the 18th. So when you see that on that link, it says October 18th at 10 a.m. Are you clicking on the right one? You should refresh your screen. It's on the, we had a webinar on the 16th, and what we're doing is we're doing part 2 on the 18th. So everyone here, what we do is we do 2 parts. You're basically taking part 1, and part 2 is tomorrow. Do you have a third-party profitable confirmation? Lenny, can you be more specific on your question? A copy of part 1? Yes, Sophie. When you register for this, we'll give you the recording for it, okay? When you log into your dashboard, you'll see part 1 and part 2 of the recording so you could access it. Oh, for my trades? Absolutely. You're going to see it tomorrow during the markets. Lenny, I trade live with you. I get in, I get out. You're going to see in real time. There's no better confirmation than that. What about people that have regular jobs that can't attend? Like I told you, the class is recorded. So if you miss it, as long as you register for it, we'll get you the recording to it. That's the great part about webinars. You can go out there and you could record these. You know, back when I originally started, it wasn't as easy. Now it's so convenient. It's so funny. I'm watching on TV. Now you have Donald Trump looking to start his own online universities. Looks like online schools are really taking off. Watch out, Yale University. Steve, you were in the room yesterday. You couldn't get in? You know what, Steve? Call our office. You should have got in. We use WebEx, and they have support. Call them up, and we'll be able to get that in. We'll make sure that's been taken care of. Just off work, how do you get the recording? Send me an email. You got my email address right here, and I'll get it to you if you don't have it. But register right on our website for that event. All right? Right on our homepage or our website. Talk about my ebook. Well, my book actually was bought by Wiley. The book is going to be coming out in 2014. You could buy the ebook version, and it's a great biography / training book. You can get that right off our website. Trade Forex, but I'm not so successful. Should I switch to stocks? You know what? First of all, MU, I don't know who trained you, why you're not successful. You know what? I could trade any market. Every market trades at 70% the same. Maybe you should learn, you know, like I said, maybe give me a call, send me an email, and maybe I can, you know, maybe we can help you and I can advise you a little bit on what you're doing is right and wrong. Listen, I'm here to help all of you, student or not. I want you guys to learn how to do this. I want you guys to be, you know, to help promote education, to go out there and tell people how great it is and why we should do it and why people that fail are failing because they didn't get educated. Just don't be that self-taught person. Maybe you were not trained properly. Well, there's the one on the 30th, Wendy. So listen, you're more than happy to register for anyone you want. Steve, I couldn't figure out what was going on, but you're cool. Steve, listen, I'm just a human just like you. You know, I mean, I started just like you. I've learned just like you. and I'm just passing on the knowledge and giving back a little bit back to the market, and passing the knowledge down to everyone else like you guys to share the knowledge and do it so every one of you can do this as a living. Because I don't want to see people giving their money to mutual funds and hedge funds, and you could do it yourself. Giving your IRA to someone else to trade it. All they're doing is the same thing you could do right yourself. What do you need them to do it? You could do it yourself. All right, guys. So I tried to register, but it keeps kicking me out. Must be a lot of people registering at one time. Hopefully our servers didn't crash. You know what? If you can't get in, remember, there's over 600 people here. Send me an email, faustop@ctucorp, if you want to get registered and if you can't get in. All right? That's my personal email address if you're having a problem. I'll make sure it gets taken care of. Lots of fun. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, I'm going to give everybody a break, so you guys can recoup, because I mean, this marathon is, you guys got a lot more coming. I'm going to, first of all, I'd like to thank Morgan for having me here. It's always been a pleasure to come and talking on behalf of TradingPub, and you guys have been a lot of fun, a lot of great questions. Hope I was able to educate a lot of you. Hopefully I was able to bring some spirit and keep you guys up awake. Like, if any, I told Morgan, if you want, I could send the Red Bull girl there with the shots to everyone's house. So you guys keep going. You ever see those cars that run around, those little Red Bull cars? So anyway, the marathon's still going. Keep it up. Enjoy it, everyone. And for everyone else, listen, the marathon's going to continue, because I'm going to be picking up at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to show you guys how to trade the market in real market conditions. You got some great trades that are going on right now with Facebook and Google and PRKR and RSOL. We're going to watch it, and we're going to probably find a whole new list of stocks tomorrow, between the solar stocks that are moving lately, all this great stuff. Just keep it going, register, and once again, a lot of great speakers still coming up. You can always learn something, and you know what? I'm going to stick around and listen myself. Great traders never stop learning. Once again, thanks again, everyone. My name is Fausto from Cyber Trading University, and wish you all happy trading.